But you know what I mean when I'm pointing this out, that you can cushion log and sit on any block. The sheep are getting their revenge. How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is Pixel138, aka the Eagle Builder Animator. Welcome back to the episode Video Game, where today I'm here to do another Minecraft Snapshot review. Today I'm reviewing the third snapshot for version 26.3, and this drop just keeps getting better for me. I already love the first one. As you can see, I am back among the poplar trees of this wonderful forest, which I already loved last time. We checked out like the new mushrooms that were added, the new wood that was added, the wool stairs and wool slabs that were added, the campgrounds. You can see another one down there. But these updates are just going to get better because this snapshot adds two features that have been highly requested by players for the longest time, and it just gets me really excited. So let's go ahead, jump right into the snapshot review. There's only a couple of things to review, but they're pretty major for the game, and that's why I wanted to still check it out. First up, we have the straw beds. This is already a game changer. I usually would have the most game changing thing last, but I feel like the second one actually is even almost crazier, believe it or not. But the straw beds right here, they're a new type of bed, as it says. I have a regular bed here, which I'm going to use for example. So for now, I'm just going to take this bed, place it here, and I'm going to set my spawn point. I'm going to leave. So as you can see, it says right there, respawn point set, because that's where my respawn point is now. It was right here because that's where I use for commands. Now it is over at that bed. So if I die, I will spawn at that bed. But straw beds function a little differently. So first, you craft them with hay bales because they are straw. You put 3 hay bales straight across like this, and it gives you 4 straw beds. Let's go ahead and just make a bunch of them here so that you can see. I have a lot now. They stack to 16. So I'm going to go ahead and put most of this away. And this is the straw bed. So if I put it down right here, it just looks like a little bedroll. It's got like a pillow wrapped up like that. It kind of blends into the ground a bit, shows that the straw and hay is sticking out all over the place, which is nice. So yeah, it's a bed, just like this is. But if you notice, when I right click on it, and I'm going to leave right away, and you can see a couple things happen. One, it did not tell me that my respawn point was set again, because the straw bed does not change your respawn point. If your respawn's currently at world spawn, or if you have a bed set up, your respawn point will stay there if you sleep in a straw bed. Also, as you saw, because I got out, it broke. Straw beds have one use, just one use, and then they break. And apparently, I'm not sure if that's a bug, where if you don't actually sleep through the night, it still breaks. I feel like that should be a bug. But either way, the point is, it will break when you use it, and it will not change your spawn point. So this is a perfect item. Like once you get a nice wheat farm going and everything, just take a stack of 16 with you, maybe keep it in a bundle if you want, and just go off at a big adventure, and you can still sleep and not change your spawn point, so that if you happen to die for whatever reason, you can still spawn in the safety of your own home or whatever satellite base that you've built somewhere. And you'll, again, sleep the night away, and now you can avoid the awful phantoms whenever you want, which is pretty great. And I'm going to prove that it doesn't change your spawn point. So I have, again, real fast, just going to, boom. There we go. Just making sure my spawn point is now that orange bed. Now if I go over here, that didn't work the way I thought it would. Forgive me, I'm an idiot who forgot how to use command blocks. If I click on this will take me to this lovely cherry blossom biome. As you can see, like over there is where we were just at, on the other side of that bay. I'm going to go ahead and put down this straw bed, and I'm going to sleep all the way through it. We're sleeping the night away. It's going to get nice and bright. As you can see, the little particles right there, the bed broke, the sun is up, but did my spawn point change? It did not. And to prove that, there's lava over here. So I'm going to jump in this lava right here. As you see, I died. So if this were a regular bed I had slept in, I would either spawn at the cherry blossom biome, or because it broke there, I would now go back to world spawn. But because it's a straw bed and not a wool bed, I still spawn right next to the bed that I slept in. That is just so great. Again, it is a feature. That's where we died over there, and we still spawned right over here, even though we slept all the way over there. This is a feature, again, that has been requested by players, I feel like, for the longest time, and for good reason. Like I said, this is huge for exploration, and because it stacks up to 16, you could take a bunch of them with you. You could sleep the night away when you feel like it, or if maybe you're on a server. I recently, personally, just started playing on an SMP with my friends for like a 2-week Minecraft phase kind of thing. But it's great because there's always the coordination of, oh, we need everyone to sleep. Like, you could have, configurations that only one person needs to sleep, only half the server needs to sleep. And even in the latter of those, you still need more people to sleep. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not at my base. I'm down mining right now, or something like that. If they have a bunch of straw beds on them, then you can just right click and they can sleep out. See, it doesn't even set my spawn point when I do it here. And you can pick it back up normally. It only breaks when you lay down in it and then get back up. This is just a really nice feature that has been a long time coming. I think this is one that Mojang showed to a bunch of content creators that were at TwitchCon, like when they did their special Minecraft Live. But they finally have it out, and it is exactly what I'd hoped it would be. This is honestly great. Like I said, I think that one might be a bug where if you didn't like properly sleep, it broke. I feel like that's a little stupid if you accidentally right-click on it, then, oh, too bad, you right-clicked on it, now it's gonna break. Even though they are pretty cheap, I think that was a bit of a mistake. But this looks great, and it can also be good for building, because you can like hang it over the edge and do like basically a thatched roof kind of like patio cover. This is great for building, and it's great for adventuring. This is a really well-rounded feature for Minecraft, I feel like. It just turned out great. And speaking of building, like I said, this is good. It's primarily for adventuring, but also works well for building. The second feature that I have to talk about today is very much for building, but it's massive. It's not just its default functionality. It's got a bunch of other stuff for it that people are like, oh, that can work pretty well. And that other new feature is the cushion. So this will actually use the new blocks that were introduced in this update snapshots. Like when I reviewed the first snapshot for this, the wool slabs. If I go here and I take these wool slabs, which remember just 3 wool across, and I put that across like that, we get a cushion. This is for all colors of wool, all 16 colors, I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a bunch of these. As you can see, these also stack to 16, just like the straw beds do. So there we go. I have a bunch of cushions. And what cushions do, if I place it on the ground, you see it just actually looks like a button in the middle of a cushion. If I right click on it, I'm now sitting on it. Minecraft finally gave us chairs. After years and years and years of people just putting, like a stair with some signs or shelves on the side, basically, to make a chair. Now you have an actual chair, and it actually sits you down. You don't have to do like a weird boat or minecart or pig or whatever, like set up underneath a block that you can like clip through and sit on or anything like that. It just gives you a cushy cushion to sit on. And again, you just hit crouch to get up, just like anything else that you would get onto in this game. But look at that. And again, you could, like I said, you can have it in any of the colors that you can make wool. So I just have these 4 right now, default colors. But the reason this is so cool for building, not only is this, like I can show you here. Actually, I have the wool on me right here. It is a little bit, as you can see, it's more like a quarter block. It's thinner than a regular slab. But I can actually place it on top of slabs. Like, as you can see right here, this slab, if I try to place a slab normally down like this, I do this and I do that, it's gonna float. But not with the cushions. If I place the cushion on, it will just go directly onto whatever flat surface you were trying to put it onto. And what makes this even cooler is the fact that you can waterlog some blocks in this game. Well, you can now cushion log blocks. So I have a lot of different blocks here. I'm not grabbing that. But you know what I mean when I'm pointing this out, that you can cushion log and sit on any block. The sheep are getting their revenge. But anyway, let's go ahead and just build some chairs, like I said. So let's start with, I mentioned, that you would build it with, like, you just put, like, stairs down like this, and then people would just sit here and go, there, look, this is me. I'm sitting. We are having the meeting and we are sitting. Or some people would have a mod where you can like right click on the stair with an empty hand and you would sit on it. Don't need to do that anymore because like I said, it can place on any flat surface you put it on. And that includes the bottom half of a stair block. Like, no, I can place it on top just fine. But if I look at the bottom part of the stair and right click, because cushions are basically like they're like torches when you place a torch down. They're basically entities and blocks at the same time. So now if I right click on this, look at that. You can actually use a stair as a chair in vanilla Minecraft and you're actually sitting on it. That is just awesome. That is so cool that they actually did this. And you could do this again, different styles. Like if you used a fence, look at that. Now I've got myself a bar stool. And see, I still can't jump on the fence. Like as I said, it doesn't have collision. I can just walk into it. It's an entity. But you can just make all kinds of stuff. Like I put this down, I put this down, I grab the poplar shelves here, and I just put this together. Boom, look at that. You've got like now a throne set up, basically. And even if you like wanted to not do the staircase, I should have grabbed an axe. Let me go ahead and break this here, and I put a slab here instead. Look at that. That looks even better. Now you can have like a figurehead throne at the top of like a Viking dining hall or something like that where the chief would sit. And it actually is a chair that you could sit on. Or if you wanted to have, you know, like a chair where it's like, oh, come sit on Santa's lap and tell him what you want for Christmas kind of thing. You could actually build a chair. The use of this for I could see for like custom maps or for, you know, builds in general, it's huge because you can put it on that little gap. And like I said, any horizontal surface, including this shelf right here, like if I have shelves like this, look at that. I now have made a park bench. I could sit right here, and then no one will sit next to me because I have no one. But yeah, this is awesome. Again, you could sit on any block like this. You could build like basic chairs, stools, benches, grand thrones. You could build. I think I've already seen a photo go by on Twitter of someone building a double-decker couch from the Lego movie. Like you could make yourself a double-decker couch and you could have a bunch of people sit and watch TV with you and be buddies. Like, this block is, which is, you know, more like a block entity, but still, this is crazy. I do think that the item texture should change. Right now, I think the shape of it looks a little too much like a music disc. I think it should look a little more squared off. It looks a little too rounded, but that's just nitpicky because the block itself is crazy. And again, I'm gonna show how even crazier it is. This is a carpet. If I put that next to there, it is even thinner than this, which is like a quarter block. But you could just place that on the carpet. If I had snow on me, and because, you know, snow could stack up a bunch when you place it down into a full block, you could probably use these things now to find a way to make like this new slowest staircase, but give it like color. Because again, it doesn't have collision. So you do clip through it, but you can, instead of having like, oh, I want this like super long but not tall staircase that goes up, you could use still like snow and probably have your best bet there. But then if you're like, no, I want it to be a red carpet leading up to it, then you could just replace it with the red cushions and you could have a very narrow slope red staircase going up with the snow that you use. This is such a cool thing. And, you know, that actually looks like a bed, come to think of it. Because if I go over here, I'm like, oh, you know what goes really well with orange? If you look around here, red and yellow. Well, I want red covers. Look at that. You now have covers on the bed, and you could still. Of course, it's not sunset yet, but you can still sleep on it. Look at that, and it's like I'm tucked in bed. This block honestly is like game changing for builds and just adding to the aesthetic of your home. And you could build like park benches, like I said. There's so much that you could do with this. It really is cool. You could blend it for all kinds of color combinations. It's just so great. I think that these two are really, really good additions to the game. Again, they're the kinds of features that people have been begging for. People have been begging for something like a sleeping bag or anything that allows you to sleep without changing your spawn point. They gave us that, and I think it's actually a pretty solid way of doing it. People have been asking for, actual chairs in Minecraft. We have that, and we can turn anything into a chair and also use it for like roofs or stairs or other kind of like really shallow looking builds and kind of things that make a really slowly sloped roof even slower of a slope, even flatter of a slope than slabs would do. This is really cool, and you can even find these naturally generated in the world. I'm not sure about the cushions, but the campsite over there, if we actually go over there real fast, the straw beds naturally spawn in the abandoned campsites, which I think makes a ton of sense. So if I go over here, again, I have another of those little copper golem friends down here. Look at this. There's now a straw bed, so it looks even more like you found some abandoned campground of some adventurer who's long gone. And if you're, running away in the middle of the night, like, oh my gosh, it's dark, I don't know where I am, I don't know where my home is, I don't have my bed. If you come across a campground, now you can head inside, and there's probably going to be a straw bed for you to sleep on and sleep the night away. This is such a good snapshot. Like, I was already gushing over the last one just because I am a total nerd who loves the fall aesthetic in general. I think autumn is probably my favorite season. But not only are we getting an autumn themed biome in this next snapshot, we're getting new wool blocks and new blocks that you can craft with wool that add a ton to building. I'm not the best builder in the world. I will be the first to admit that, but I like building in Minecraft. I don't come up with the most complex things, but I love being able to try to find a way to use what little skills I have to make something really nice. And now that these blocks are here, these cushions, a whole new opportunity has opened up to be able to build in this game. I think this is really good. And this is easily my favorite of the 2026 drops, I have to say, based on the content we're getting. We'll have to wait and see if they're going to add anything else. I'm still crossing my fingers that we get a mob that maybe exclusively spawns in this biome or something like that, because every drop needs to have some kind of mob, even if it's an existing one that changed, like the baby mobs from Tiny Takeover. Every drop has had a mob, and I want that to continue. I know people joke about, oh, you add one mob and a wood type and boom, that's an update. But I do want to see more mobs, and I think that there should be like an owl or a woodpecker or something that spawns in this forest, or maybe a bear, something like that. I still think that this forest needs a mob, so I hope that they're not done adding stuff to this update. But even then, the stuff that they've added, if they don't, completely destroy its functionality in future snapshots, this is great. This is fantastic. I think you could use this to make even more secret, as you do like the secret right click through the block to get a minecart or something. You could just make this part of the wall if you wanted to, I feel like, and it would work. Like, come on, I need to try this. Okay, see, you can't place a cushion on a cushion. It was worth a shot because it's another entity. So you also can't place this like where the torch is. Oh, I take it back. You can. I thought you couldn't because it was another entity, but you can. You can place it on the torch, which is why you can also place it. Okay, I don't need to say anything, but yeah, this, like I said, has been Snapshot 3 for Minecraft 26.3. I love it. This is genuinely, like, I've had my issues with the most recent snapshots, like in general, like the most recent updates, like the sulfur one. I think the geyser was the most interesting thing that they added. The tiny takeover is cute, but it's not really much. But this one, this is lining up to be the most content-filled drop I feel like we may have gotten since they started the drop system. Like, I love this so much. I love the new features, and I think that this is going to end up being a really good update for the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing, again, potentially what else they have planned. Hopefully there's a mob still involved. But even if they don't, which would be a little bit of a shame, I'm still happy with the features that we're getting here. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please drop a like and a comment down below if you did. Don't subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys!